Hey, hello everyone. Welcome. This is the NARR AMS2 Automobilista 2 Sunday sessions. This is the second running in this kind of ongoing series on Sundays. I shouldn't say series, but ongoing races on Sundays for AMS2. This is the second one. This is going to be a 20-minute race with all kinds of stuff happening in here of the Brazilian stock cars, the 2021 versions here on Imola. So strap in and get ready, because it's going to be a wild ride, as you'll see here in just a second. I'll take this time as well to welcome everyone. This is only going up on YouTube, so if you're subscribed to the YouTube, here you are. If you're not, find your way there and subscribe and put your notifications on. If you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you want to comment about something, feel free to comment, good or bad, and we read them all, and we will take everything into consideration. If you feel something can be improved upon, because these are kind of newer with AMS2, they're a little bit harder. I shouldn't say harder, but just a little bit more difficult to capture, record, commentate on, all that good stuff compared to Race Room. So if you know of something to do better, or a way to do things better for AMS2 with generating content, please let us know, and we'll certainly try our best to make these things as great as possible. So we're paused as of right now. I'm going to hit the play button, but this is the start of the race. 20-minute race. I forget how many laps this actually went. I was in it, and I still forget. But 20 minutes, and as you can tell, there's rain. So, if you're used to Race Room content, there's no weather whatsoever other than clear, sunny skies all the time, maybe a little cloud here and there. With AMS2, you got it all. You've got heavy storms, light rain, medium rain, cloudy, sunny, hazy, all the good stuff. So let's hit play. Let's get going, and I'll just talk you through all this with all the action going on screen, and we'll go from there. So let's roll this bad boy. And let's start with, we'll start on Theodore Insbury here on trackside. He's currently in P5. Now, the standings here on the side, that was the qualifying. So this is just the race. There's no practice, there's no qualifying in this video. So let's roll it, and here we go. Real time, here we go. So as everyone comes up to the line, we were in a rolling start. It was a little bit difficult, including myself. There were some problems with just keeping everything together or trying to keep up. But as you can see here, coming down into turn 1, into turn 2, so Theodore, as you can tell with the rain, maybe a little too much on the brake there. Gets spun around. Where is my cursor? There it is. We're going to move up to Theo Lupo here, currently in P3. Yeah, that's how it was for the beginning of the race, where if you were in traffic with somebody, the spray from the rain and from the track was just absolutely not unbearable, but definitely made it difficult. But as they make their way up the hill, let's move on back. So just so everyone knows, we're still here with Theo. He pulled off to the side to start a local recording for himself, so that was what kind of moved him backwards. Yellow Snow here is Scott Galbraith, which takes over the P3 with Theo pulling off to the side to start some video recording for himself. But he's about 5 seconds back from the leader. AMR Fan 95. This might be Keshen Hall, but I might be wrong. We had some folks from the GRG Discord community in here with us as well, to provide basically some extra people, but also extra skill and really extra fun. So this was a good time. But That was Keshin and Ramiro Perez. I believe this is him. Up here in first. Let's go trackside. As you can see him screaming down the start-finish line straight there. And that was lap number 1, but weather all over the place. And all the spray there in the back, so it makes it awful difficult for folks in line. Let's move back to Luke Filippone here with the Outlaw 2020. I'm not quite sure exactly who that is, but they're here in 9 and 10, keeping it close. And if we catch it somewhere, you're going to see puddles actually forming on the track. So that's another little feature there for AMS2 and for the weather, where if enough rain comes down, it will start to collect and pull up within the turns or on the track, and really just add a whole nother level of something that you have to deal with. But as you can tell, he's got Theodore Insbury there right on his back bumper. Let's go in cockpit. Let's ride here for just a bit, as there's kind of everything going on. Theodore's got the windshield wipers on as high as they can go, but you can just see there all the water that's kind of just standing in places on the track, and it made it very difficult for me. Well, from personal experience, it was difficult. Too much. If you tried to even throttle through the puddles or try to hit the brake in the puddles, you were basically going to be looking the opposite way very quickly. So, but as you can tell, we've got, I think that's 9, 10, 11. So a bunch of folks right here all together. From the timing screens, it's probably 8 through 11 here. Derek McCord right up there in 8th. The Obscure Hi-Fi in 9th. Luke Filippone right there ahead in 10th. And Theodore Insbury here on board in P11. But let's move around. Who else do we have? There's kind of a gap between 6 and 7. And then 11 and 12. So these 5 here are the kind of the closest at the moment on track, but Theodore's going to try to do an overtake. We'll go trackside, and he has it, putting that yellow and red Exalta livery right there. But then as you can see, Luke Filippone got the better run and came right back around and snatched it back. So there was a lot of back and forth throughout the field. Especially when you would actually get into a pack or right on the backside of somebody. You've got the spray, so you've got something else to deal with. But then trying to navigate your way around Imola here in the rain, with puddles, with a wet track, and the Obscure Hi-Fi. I don't know if there was a little bit of touch or whatnot, but a little loose off the hairpin and went to the inside. So Theo Lupu there in 12th and 11th now has caught back up after pulling off to the side for a little video work, I guess you could say. But we'll go on board with him. So you've got Derek McCord, Theo Lupu, Theodore Insbury, all right in here. With Theo Lupu getting by for 9th. He's now got Luke Filippone there right ahead. Theodore Insbury managed to get by Derek McCord. Let's move up. So the AMR Fan 95 here, still about 2 seconds behind Ramiro Perez, and I'm 95% sure this is Keshin Hall from GRG. But another one, and there's the puddles. So you can see there on the inside of that turn, especially a massive, a mini pond, I guess you could say, on the turn. That if you got too much water, you were in bad shape. as you see Keshin here, maybe a little too much throttle right in that area, which then puts him into the gravel. Tom here as well as in the gravel. Scott Galbraith managed to get through that area, not hit the gravel, and has closed the gap between himself and Keshin Hall there in P2, as we're now about 2 seconds back. And you can see him going up the hill and down. He's in the Mobile 1 blue and red livery. Theo Lupu, drag racing the Outlaw 2020. No, he was drag racing Luke Filippone. Got by Luke Filippone and is now in 8th place, with Luke Filippone there in 9th and Theodore Insbury in 10th. And then other folks on back, myself as well, back there. Not having the best of times, but just keeping it going. We're gonna go on board with the Outlaw. Well, not on board, but trackside with the Outlaw. Let's go with the cockpit. As he now moves up to 6th, I believe. Lab Pong has Theolupu get right ahead of him as they come down to the start-finish line way down here into turn 1, which requires you to brake certainly a lot earlier than what you would ever need to. And Theodore Insbury there. Tokyo drifting through some water, through some gravel, and everywhere else, and all kinds of stuff happening. We've got the Obscure Hi-Fi coming up on all this as well. There's a puddle there, a massive puddle there, and onward you go. Heel to toe, Ian McClure, currently here in P5, and you can kind of see at this point here, the rain is not as heavy as what it was. So the settings for this race were medium rain in the beginning, with it set to kind of start to clear up, and you will see that happen here. And you will also probably see, if we stay on board or on track even, you'll start to see a drying line start to form, where folks are obviously keeping themselves on track, and the dry line should, I believe, start to appear. I know it did for me at some point after people started to hit the same spots and the same line lap after lap, so that should probably start to show up as well here for you all to see. What do we have here? Ramiro Perez still just rolling along here, rolling along, apologies, in P1, about 8.9 seconds, 9 seconds ahead. Big old puddle there. That's almost like a pond now, turning into a lake. Ramiro's he's a madman here. He's not running any windshield wiper, so it's obviously not that bad. He's obviously, and he's in P1, so he does not have the extra spray that people have beyond in the field, so it's actually probably not too bad. He probably has no reason to run it, but he's still a madman. Let's see what we have here. Keshin Hall going through the same, going up to the hairpin here. He's running the windshield wiper. We got Scott Galbraith here. You can tell when you're really close to somebody, you're getting that spray, like I've been saying, which just adds to the immersion, adds to the difficulty, because you got the rain coming down, you got more rain coming off the tarmac with the car, and you know, it's a lot to keep track of and a lot to focus on in a race like this. Everyone's starting to kind of even out here. So Scott here is about less than 2 seconds there to Keshin Hall right ahead. Just looking through the standings, looking through the timings. So Luke Filippone is fairly close to Labpong here in number 9, P9 right ahead. You've got Theodore Insbury there, P8, the yellow and red car, up ahead of these two. So 3 folks here kind of fairly close enough. We'll stay trackside, that way you can kind of see, not really just the cockpit, you can kind of see everything happening here. The cars look beautiful, the track looks beautiful, the weather looks beautiful. It's a fantastic looking game overall. It drives really well, at least to me. I mean, opinions vary a lot compared to who you're talking with on the actual physics and how the game actually plays. For me personally, it feels great. The force feedback feels amazing. Maybe not as on par with Race Room, but still, good enough to understand what the car is trying to do, or what it wants to do, through the wheels. So it definitely feels well. It looks fantastic. It's got the Madness engine. The taboo thing to say, it's the same engine of Project Cars 2. This game is, it is not Project Cars 2. It is not Project Cars 3. It is definitely its own thing. And it definitely plays like its own thing. And to me, this game is a lot more, it's more better. Not more better. A lot better. A lot more refined than Project Cars 2. So it's a fantastic game. I'm not trying to sell anyone on it. I'm just telling you my personal opinions. But as you can see, Luke Filippone here is tracking down Labpong there in P8. Theodore Insbury is kind of pulling away from these two here, but man, that the spray off the pavement there is still pretty heavy. The rain has started to almost stop with the sun coming out. With this game, sim, whatever you like to call it. Obviously, since there's a weather system involved, you've got slick tires, you have wet tires. So, probably 100% of people here in this race right now are on wet tires because it started wet. I don't believe anyone pitted. So, once it starts to dry out here, everyone's going to be on wet tires on kind of a slightly drier track. So, it kind of also adds to the strategy, but then also adds to what the person needs to do in the car for a different set of tires, or a different compounded tires for what the track is calling for. So, but even right there, the track is still still fairly wet. There's still spray coming off, so the wet tire is still working for now. As we're talking about all that, Ramiro, I believe at some point in here had a spin or an off or whatnot, but that's allowed Keshin Hall and Scott Galbraith to kind of reel him back in for P1, 2, and 3. From my memory, I believe it gets fairly close here at the end, so we're going to keep track of these 3 folks. Here's on board with Scott Galbraith. I mean, you can see Ramiro Perez up there in P1, Keshin Hall in P2, Scott here in P3. He's still running with the windshield wipers for now, but you can definitely tell how the spray is starting to really tone down quite a lot. No rain, complete sun, no clouds even, so it's going to dry out pretty fast. And you can already tell there, so there's no spray coming off of there. Certain parts of the track may be more wet than others, which is kind of awesome to think about. Scott, a little too much right in there. Has a big lead though, from 3 to 4, so he's not really going to lose anything. But then there was Keshin with an issue coming out of the last turn there. Got a little sideways, and Scott picks up a place. We'll go trackside. Massive puddle still right there. Just trying to see who else. Everyone else is fairly well off the pace, at least of these three. And then there's pretty big gaps in between everyone. On track, Lab Pong and Luke Filippone. There's a slight. Actually, let's go to it for right now. Lab Pong there in the black livery in P9. Luke Filippone in the Brazilian flag livery in P8. We'll go cockpit. We'll go inside. Luke may be trying to pick up some water to maybe cool down the tires. At this point, with the wet compound, with probably maybe 70%, 60% of the track being more dry than wet, it was causing the tires to really get hot. So some of these folks are probably diving left or right more than needed to try to pick up some water and cool the tires down, and then try to find the next patch of water to cool them down. So we're gonna go right here. So Scott Galbraith loses the position 2 back to Keshen Hall as they come through the last set of corners there. They come down the front straight. There was no DRS for these cars, but they did have a boost. I personally didn't really have any opportunity to really use a boost, but they had that. That provided a little extra power to it. Once it was used, you had to let it kind of regenerate. As we see a car just go flying around. Actually, that might have been me, to be honest with you. And I think it was. So, look, Mom, I made the video. Let's go trackside. So these two here are in a heated battle for 2 and 3. I'm gonna watch it come around the hairpin there, up the hill. We'll follow these guys here along trackside. No. Trackside camera gets messed up. Let's go cockpit. We're getting fairly close to the end of the race. I don't know if this is the last lap or Ramiro might cross the line for at least one more, perhaps. Let's find out where Ramiro is. He's just went through the chicane. And I mean, you can tell now the track is almost completely dry. No rain, complete sun, no clouds. There's probably puddles still somewhere. Ooh, so Ramiro found a little bit of water there. There's a puddle there, but in most of the track, you're going to have probably dry conditions. Ramiro's going to go right through that big old puddle. And he's going to come across the line up here. I do not know if that ended the race. But here comes Scott Galbraith. In P2 at least for now. Right there. Keshen Hall, P3 right there. Oh, they're hitting each other, so that was the end of the race. Tom comes in P4. Theo taking out things, coming out in P5. Luke Filippone is going to be coming down into P6. Let's go trackside and follow him as he hits the last bit of puddle there, and we'll come across the line in P6. There he is. Lab Pong coming here at some point in P7. There he is. There he goes. P7 for him. Obscure Hi-Fi coming through in P number 8. Ian McClure coming through. P9. Theodore Insbury, he was up in the middle for a while, but then it looks like he's going to come across here in P10. And there he goes in his trademark yellow livery. That one had a little red to it, but mostly yellow. The Javelin, the Texaco, Derek McCord coming through in P11. And that was it. Sorry. I always forget that the replay just continues to replay. And it never gives you when, like, you should pause it. So, my apologies for that. But, short and sweet video. A 20-minute race. That one was a lot different than our first session, which was completely dry. You know, maybe slightly cloudy. This one, you know, we wanted to see not how the weather system worked, but how everyone kind of did in the weather. There were some people that excelled in the weather. There were some people that didn't. Me being one who, didn't really in these cars. Something else maybe, but these were tough in the wet, for me at least. But overall, still fantastic racing by everyone. Clean racing by everyone. It was a fun session for everyone out there. And there's not really much more you could ask from that. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I didn't really do commentating per se. Kind of just talked you through or talked alongside the video for these, since these are all replays. These aren't live. So I kind of know what happens if I'm in them. So I'm kind of just giving you the perspective of, kind of like a behind the scenes type commentary track of the race going, what I remember, what happened to me, or what I think happened with someone else if I saw it, plus what is actually you're seeing on screen. So if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, thumb it down even if you want to. Let us know what you like or don't like, or what we can do better, or what we're doing well that we can still even do better with for these types of videos, since this is kind of a new avenue for us. Especially with how AMS2 kind of with replays and trying to capture content and stuff like that is definitely a lot tougher than Race Room, with the software that's been put out there for public use within Race Room to kind of do a broadcast type video or recording. So we're kind of just doing what we can for the moment to put out more content for AMS2, because it's a fantastic game that really kind of gets a bad rap at times. Just being compared to either Project Cars 2 or Project Cars 1 with the Madness engine and all that other good stuff. They're working on it monthly. There's definitely monthly updates. There are sometimes even a few updates per month for things they're working on. So it's continually getting better and better, and hopefully it gets to the point where it's a top tier sim, with iRacing, ACC, Race Room, whatever you want to call it, but it's certainly not lagging that far behind as it is right now. So if this type of stuff interests you, especially the weather system and just the different variation of cars that aren't GT3, it's Race Room. It's Race Room per se, that it's not all GT3s. There are so many variation of open wheel cars, classic cars. You got the cars like these, the stock cars from Brazil, various years of those. You've got trucks. You've got the FIA, like the European Truck Series, like the big trucks. You've got all kinds of stuff in here, and all kinds of different tracks that you'll know and some that you won't know, but they're all fantastic tracks. So you've got that difference compared to ACC. It's all GT3, the SRO stuff. iRacing has a lot of different things as well, but with the pay model and everything else, as all I'm trying to say is that give AMS2 a chance if you can. It was just on sale, so if you grabbed it on sale, install it, load it up, see what you think of it. You can join our community as well, the discord.gg, as it was on the screen, /NARR. we're obviously doing some more things in AMS2, as well as doing things in Race Room. So if you're looking for people to race with, to learn the game with, to get comfortable with this game, or even Race Room or ACC or iRacing or anything, make sure to join up with our community and just get out there and just go with us. I mean, we're not all perfect racers. The skill levels in our community go from high to low, which is not a bad thing. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Everyone can't be perfect, including myself. So just get out there and race. It's about is having fun and racing with people that you can get to know, learn how they race, learn their tendencies or how they go about things, and just really go from there. So we'll end this video. Thanks for listening to me talk here for the last couple minutes. Thanks for watching the video with the fantastic action that happened out there. And thanks for being a subscriber to our YouTube channel if you already are. If you're not, subscribe to it. Set notifications for when things go up, Race Room related, AMS2 related. So I'll get out of here, and we'll catch you on the next AMS2 session, and then we'll catch you on the next Race Room live stream and/or recording. So have a great day or great evening, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by.